Today marks the day I finally walked out a free man after serving 21 long years behind bars. He went to an internet cafe and with the help of the attendant I got online to look up information about my parents. When I saw a picture of my late father, a wave of sadness and regret washed over me. I ran a job at a fast food restaurant doing cleanings work. The pay was low and the conditions were rough, but for someone with a record like mine that was already more than I could ask for. One day, my boss had to leave early, so he handed me the keys and asked me to lock up. After finishing my cleaning duties, I went to throw out the trash when I suddenly heard a baby crying from inside the dumpster. I opened the lid and to my shock found a chubby little baby lying inside. I brought the baby back into the restaurant along with the baby. There was a bag inside. I found a note that said the baby girl's name was Ella. I went online to find out if I could keep a baby I'd found like that. But people warned that taking in a child without going through legal channels was considered kidnapping. That terrified me, but even so I couldn't bring myself to hand the little one over to the police. Back home I gave Ella a bath in the bathroom sink. Late that night Ella rolled off the bed and started crying in pain. Seeing her hurt like that made me feel awful. It hit me then. I wasn't capable of taking care of her properly. I stayed up all night thinking and eventually made up my mind to bring her to a child welfare agency. They could give her a better life than I ever could. The staff took Ella away, but when I heard she would be placed with a foster family, I panicked. I told them I could raise Ella myself, but they turned me down. Meanwhile, the police had begun looking into Ella's situation and the investigation reached my boss. They didn't hesitate to fire me after learning about my criminal record. I went back to my tiny apartment, packed my things and bought a bus ticket home. I visited my parents' graves and sat before their tombstone telling them everything that had happened over the years. At the bank I claimed the belongings my father had left for me. When I opened the safety deposit box, there was only a letter inside. It was written by my father on his deathbed. I held back tears as I read his final words. He'd also left me a rare postage stamp, something so valuable it could support me for the rest of my life. I put on a suit and returned to the child welfare agency. When I found out Ella had already been adopted, I wasn't sad. Instead, I pulled out an envelope containing that priceless stamp, the only thing I could truly leave to Ella.